Lori King. I was a major shareholder and marketing director of Assettagz Ltd. And what Assettagz did, it had a very unique piece of software that was developed in-house. So the mobile asset management solution that Assettagz provided is something that more and more companies within the construction space are really looking for, really being able to manage the complete life cycle of an asset. Well, we had a relatively small team, and we felt that it would be best if we partnered with a larger company within the space that had more resource, because the technology is one that's embraced by the industry. And we felt that we grew as far as we could on our own. Yes, I thought the research was fantastic. Obviously, we knew most of our competitors within Europe, if you will, so we provided a list. But Kingsbrook was able to provide even more companies that we hadn't even heard of, quite frankly. And so that was an interesting process to be surprised by some of these companies. And we did end up speaking with a number of them, actually. We made the right decision in hiring Kingsbrook. I think it's absolutely critical if somebody's going to sell a company that they hire the professionals to do it for them. It's not to say that we weren't organized or didn't have the information ready. We did. We were very organized, thankfully. Our office manager is an impeccable woman, highly organized, highly skilled. So, but it was a case of getting everything together in the format that was required. And as you can imagine, most companies had different requests, even though it was similar information. So it was an extensive process to go through and understand what we had to do, when we had to do it, keeping things in alignment. And Kingsbrook was great. They were very, very helpful all along the way. Luke was fantastic to deal with. He either knew the answer or knew where to find the answer. We felt it was a very streamlined approach. It was, I wouldn't call it a one-stop shop, but advising us on a legal team we might want to consider and an accounting team we might want to consider. So we felt that all the players worked very well together. And I think that probably saved us both time and money at the end of the day. I would say the timing. We had set a deadline with the buyer, and we kept 2 weeks more the next month. So that was probably the hardest thing. It wasn't hard in the fact that we were nervous it wasn't going to happen. It was just, will this ever happen? So it was probably the timing. Oh, well, it's all very enjoyable. Obviously, when the contracts are signed and the money pops into your bank account, that's rather enjoyable. But in all honesty, it was wonderful meeting with companies that we hadn't heard of and being able to speak about our company with them and really understand what the alignments might be with each company. Some it was very obvious there was great alignment, and at the same time, the others not so much. So it was great to have that ability to speak with the owners of these other potential buyers. I exited the business. So it's fantastic. I'm on to, my own company and that sort of thing. So I was very glad when it completed and I exited the business. But the other players in the company are still with the business, which is fantastic. So they're continuing on with the acquirer, and what I understand, they're very, very pleased with what's happening to date. Absolutely. Like I said, Luke was an absolute joy to work with. If we had any sort of issues, he understood what they were and remedied it. Like I said, he always had the answer or knew where to find the answer. He's associated with some seasoned professionals. And yes, I definitely would recommend Kingsbrook.